My name's Adrian Bingham from the Department of History. Okay, so in the Arts and Humanities we have a fairly stable funding cycle. Studentships will be advertised in the faculty and department websites in the autumn for a deadline, usually at the start of February. And the idea is that students will come up with their own proposals and they will speak to supervisors in good time. The main thing that we would advise students to do is to contact departments and try and identify potential supervisors as early as possible so they can work with those supervisors in shaping their proposals. And the quality and feasibility of the proposal is really key to your success in the funding competitions. In terms of constructing a proposal, I think there are three things that we would look for. One is the significance of the project, that you want to be able to show a panel of assessors, a departmental or university panel, that this is a significant project that will have important contribution to your field. Secondly, you want to show that your project is distinctive, that it hasn't been done before, that it is doing something different either in terms of its remit or its methodology, and will be doing something fresh and make an intervention to the field that will be something that will contribute to our understanding. And thirdly, it needs to be feasible. You need to show how you can actually carry out the project in 3 years. You can't just have a very diffuse and wide-ranging project that can't be really tied together. So what you would do is work with your supervisor to hone that proposal so that it shows those three things: significance, distinctiveness and feasibility. The main thing to do is to look at the departmental website. There's a list of research areas that are specified for all members of staff, and usually that should be fairly clear. But if there's any doubt about that, I'd go to the Director of Graduate Studies in the department or the admissions officer, and they will be able to tell you which people to approach. And certainly in the autumn sort of funding cycle, supervisors are very receptive to approaches. So look at the websites, and if in any doubt, contact Director of Graduate Studies or the admissions officer in departments. Yeah, absolutely. So what you would do in conversation with the supervisor is to work on your proposal. In the Arts and Humanities, most of the time we don't do interviews. It is all based on an online application form. There'll be three things that you'll be judged on that online application form. One will be your academic track record, two will be the quality of the proposal, three will be your fit with the department. So it's on those questions 2 and 3 that you can talk to the supervisor, talk about the proposal, how you fit with the department. So there are a number of faculty studentships that are offered every year across the Arts and Humanities, and then these are topped up by the HRC ROCA, that's the White Rose Consortium. There will be a series of panels that will be held in March, and the HRC will divide up according to different disciplines a certain number of studentships. In history, for example, we would expect usually to fund between 6 and 8 people a year, and different departments across the faculty would have different numbers. Sometimes there are separate university schemes as well, and sometimes there are specific projects with studentships attached which could be advertised at later points in the year. But the emphasis tends to be in Arts and Humanities on individuals coming up with their own projects and then working with supervisors to hone those. Usually it's in April that you'll learn about the funding outcome. Two key things. One is that enthusiasm, the commitment. Doing a PhD is not something to be taken on lightly. It's a real commitment, it's a real journey. It takes 3 or 4 years of your time, and you need to have that enthusiasm and dedication to be able to carry that forward. We look for students to have the sort of passion for their subject that's communicated both to supervisors and in their application. And secondly, they need to have some fresh ideas about a particular project. You don't need to think that when you first approach a supervisor that you've got everything worked out, that you've got a perfect project all honed. You can develop that in conversation with the supervisor, but we'd like to see people with some fresh thinking, some fresh ideas, some enthusiasm about a project that they can do that they think can make a real contribution to the field.